Secretary of State Rex Tillerson says President Trump's Afghanistan strategy may lead to something other than total victory. Tillerson said yesterday that the goal is to get the Taliban to the negotiating table.
I think the president was clear. This entire effort is intended to put pressure on the Taliban to have the Taliban understand you will not win a battlefield victory. We may not win one, but neither will you. And so at some point, we have to come to the negotiating table and find a way to bring this to an end.
Afghanistan's president said a planned influx of U.S. troops will help enhance Afghan air power. Our Charlie Daggett is in Kabul to show us how Americans are helping fight the Taliban from the sky. Charlie, good morning.
Well, good morning. When Afghan President Ashraf Ghani thanked President Trump and the American people for their continued support here this week, the first thing he mentioned was the importance of the development of the Afghan Air Force. Well, we got the rare opportunity to watch American pilots training pilots here how to wage war over Afghanistan's not-so-friendly skies. It may not look like a modern aircraft. And again, the Afghan military's long fight against the Taliban could hardly be described as a modern war.
What they're missing.
And Brigadier General Philip Stewart says it just might break the stalemate here.
This is a country that screams out for air power. And it doesn't have a whole lot of roads. It's mountainous.
And that terrain suits the new Afghan fighter division, which consists of 12 American-built A-29 planes and about 24 MD-530 attack helicopters, capable of delivering a full payload, heavy machine guns, and guided missiles. U.S. combat pilot Lieutenant Colonel Johnny Green is in charge of handling Afghanistan's top guns.
All the communication is on them.
The guy on the ground here's the target, speaking to the pilot in the cockpit.
All in their own language. That is all on them.
So is the maintenance. Because the A-29 uses the same kind of engine found in planes like Cessnas, they're easy to fix. It says something about the security situation here. The pilots don't want to be identified. But he said it's the Taliban who have new reasons to be fearful.
At the first, they were like laughing at this. It's just like this is the World War style airplanes.
Yeah, World War II style, right. He said that was until they found themselves on the receiving end of one in combat.
After that, they said we should hide.
So now they hide when they hear you
They are
coming.
hiding, yes.
They're also capable of dropping laser-guided 500-pound bombs, which makes them both cheap and deadly. An aircraft like this is not going to hold its own against an air force like the Russians or China.
Sure. It's not designed to. Is there a need to have advanced aircraft? No, not in this theater. This suits the Afghan Air Force just fine.
So it makes it a pretty unfair fight.
We hope so, in our favor, right? So that's the desire.
And it's a mission on fast forward. Afghan pilots come right out of U.S. training and straight into combat. With the Taliban gaining ground, the only advantage they've got is above it. Just yesterday, U.S. Air Force officials said they were not only examining new ways to expand the training of the Afghan Air Force, but ramping up U.S. air power and American airstrikes in light of the new military strategy here. Gayle?
Thank you, Charlie Daggett, reporting from Kabul.